the break, we're gonna go back to again to understand what okay, fine, Mtimane, siyakubona uphushile and whatsoever, but then mhlambe while upusha before sizongena ku-pizza and noma i-pizza yakhona seyiphela guys bhekani kusele how many slice ayi i-producer yami nayo iyadabula yo. So I just want to find out one thing because sihlala ekasi whereby support esikhathini esiningi ayikho and njengoba usho ukuthi before sizongena ku-pizza while talking about indaba ye-photography like what was your marketing strategy that kept you going? Because I know for a fact ukuthi beside life farm unabantu baziyo somewhere and whatsoever nokuhamba different provinces and different locations, but what has been your source of like marketing strategy that kept your business going up until date? Le photography before singena ku-pizza. I-pizza phela isaseyintsha isaseyintsha sifuna ukuyikhipha ubusha namhlanje.
Yeah, actually, since I was having a passion for photography from my primary or school days,
yeah,
I used to like take pictures. Even my aunt used to know, like, you know what? Not actually me taking picture with my camera, but having picture.
Oh, okay.
Asking a photographer to take me picture.
Oh, okay.
So my aunt used to know every time when he pay for a trip, he knows like, hey, I
must
need
budget.
to give him money for
pictures.
For pictures, and then because I was having this thing like I love traveling, I wanted those memories, and then that's how it works up until I get to the secondary days or years. Then that's how it all actually continued. Even when I get there, it was still the same. Until my aunt passed away on 2003. And then regarding that, my mother did help me so much, because I remember I wanted to shift to photography, and then my mother took his money and then he gave me to me, and then I buy a Sony, second hand, but I know like Sony, Canon, they take quality
pictures.
Yeah, but what has kept me to, when it comes to marketing strategy, I told myself that because this is what I love, it comes from my passion, so I want quality, I want clear, vivid, pictures, crystal clear. Then I told myself that I'm gonna make sure that people who take pictures for me or who I shoot them pictures, they must get that, crystal quality. That's what comes first, and then that is what is going to market me, because even me, once I took pictures and then the photographer take me pictures, and then when I see like, it is clear, this is what I like, and then I end up, following that photographer, and then tend to recommend that photographer to
other people, exactly.
And then that's how it came to me, and then that has kept me, that passion to say what I want to do to my customers. It is what I want people to do it to me, like treat people the way you want
to be treated.
Using their money, and to have money doesn't grow on trees. We know
yes,
that.
So people are working hard out there. As it is now, we are working for this money. So we can't be taken for granted. And I like what you said, that you didn't want to compromise on quality. You always wanted to give 110%. As far as those photos, when people see it and say like, okay, you know what, let's talk about, you know what, or I pay you with the holy-hearted, So okay, I get that part, and then I know for a fact that in business there's never challenge, there's never good stories only. There's always those challenging stories as well. But I think before we can go into that, to the challenging stories, because remember now, I know ukuthi Ilimekaya photography, it's your baby as well. But let's talk about this pizza, guys. This is the pizza, and say pelile, guys. I'm sorry, but let's talk about this pizza. Where did it all started? How did it started? How did it start basically? It's long. The pizza.
The pizza it's simple, and then like when we grow up, people tend to visit those places like Devon, those restaurants, and then when we grow up, and then when they buy, you know, they come with those boxes, you see people having it, and then you say, I wish to see myself eating that pizza. And then at some point, when they go, they say, hey, we went to Devon, we ate pizza, we went to, you know what, St. Julian, and then you never went there. You ask yourself, how is that place? What is that
What's
pizza?
the experience there? Yeah.
But when it started, actually, I remember I was having a friend of mine when we were still doing, you know what, learnership, wholesale and retail under Edcon group of Edgars and Jet, right there in Three River. We were doing our practical there. Then, you know what, this friend of mine, Jablan Klapo, and then he just said to me, Temba, you know what, we need to try something because we get a stipend every month, and then we need to taste this thing. Then we
Seriously,
agreed, you know.
yeah.
Hey, we went to Dibonez, then Three River, then we bought one, we share. Hey, we see, you know, when you cut that pizza, there's this something like this rope says a sticky one. When you cut it, you see, like, it is not like you cut the bread. There's these strings that you see of cheese there, you see.
It's like rubber bands.
Yeah, it's like rubber bands. Now you ask yourself, how am I going to eat this? Because now this something like a rubber band, you know what, it disturbs, and then, but we end up, you know what, leave all this issue of fork and knife. We just, you know, use our hand, and then we said, this is our money. We don't care who says what. Yes, we wanted to experience this. What stays as a fact is that we have came here, we have paid our money, and then we'll eat it the way we want. No one will chase us for that. Then we started eating it. Then from there, I started falling in love with it. Then here it comes again. I meet someone, you know what, started to be friend of mine. Now he's a very, you know what, best friend, investor, you know what, business mentor also. Okay. And then we meet there in Midrand, where, you know, Midrand, it is where most of the exports takes place. Yeah, we meet there, and then he was basically working, you know, in this district of Orange Farm. Then when he heard that, as we introduced ourselves, wow, Temba from Orange Farm, then he came to me, and then he wanted to know all the way from Orange Farm to Midrand. I said yes. Then, you know what, fast forward, we end having that, you know, business relation. Then he come to Orange Farm and then check up on me, and then we talk business. Then he experienced Kasi life, because he stays, you know what,
in the Babs.
Yeah, in the suburbs. So he was happy for that, and then he turned making sure that I end up getting used to this fancy restaurant, fancy places.
Okay. So you guys were exchanging. So you were you were actually making sure that he understands the Kasi life.
Yes.
And then he also showed you those expensive restaurants.
Yes.
Okay. No, I get it.
That's how we started, and then the name goes by Peter van Vegas, and then you know, that's how we started, and then I went eating pizza like dust, you know, like nothing. I end up going to these places, all of them. Then there was a point where, like, you know, I was too much intrigued with pizza, and then I used to eat it. I love it. I fell in love with it. And then there was a time when one of my customers, he cooks, like he's actually good when it comes to cooking. Then he's just based in same street as mine, and then we are like staying in the same street. Okay. Then I went to her to say, hey, you know what? Hey, I like pizza, you know what? But I know it is made by people. I don't know how to make it, but I wish to know. Because when I don't have money, I have that, you know what? I have that wannabe want to eat that pizza. You know? I crave for it. Then, he just told me, Temba, go and buy this ingredient and come with it. We'll do it here. How? In my house. Then I say, serious? Just like that? Said, yes, okay. I went. Then I bought the stuff. I came with it. Then she mixed those ingredients next to me, and then I was looking on, making sure that with an eagle eye, I don't lose anything here. No. Then we made it that pizza, but you know what, it was not soft actually. It was something that you had to eat. Or that crust of that piece, and then that was the challenge. And then she said to me, we need to know what is the cause of this, because now it's supposed to be soft.
To be soft, yeah.
Now we need to know it is either the temperature, it was high, the heat, all of that, or our mixture. You see, we were confused.
Exactly, yeah.
But we were happy that on top we see those, toppings.
Everything went accordingly,
accordingly.
And what was expected.
Yeah. The problem now is the crust, So.
And now remember, if it's hard, then people will start complaining, obviously, to say, you know what, what are you feeding us,
You see, and then now all of that, and then I see like, okay, at least we tried something. Then I was inspired by that. Yeah. So then after all, fast forward, that's when like I thought, you know what, there was a young lady in Springs. He used to do peas, and then I interact with her, wanting her to school me, and then yes, I was, you know what, I put myself in that stage or platform to say, whenever she can want me to pay, I'm going to pay, because this is what I want to do. And then I know when it comes to
entrepreneurship,
it is not cheap as people think, unless if you authentically train yourself and wanted to do something. But if you go to someone who started it, then you won't get that person just like that, because it is his energy, time, all of that he needs to sacrifice for you. And then we're talking about business here, we're talking about legacy, something that we're going to live for next time.
That will sustain even your kids as well.
Yeah, then that's how we started. Then from there, you know what, I went to Mpumalanga last year, September, late September. Then.
So before going to Mpumalanga, I just want to understand that part. How did we manage to solve that hardness on the pizza? How is it part of you going to Mpumalanga? Because remember you said you did the pizza with the lady from your own the very same Ekaslako. So when you guys did it, then obviously you didn't do it 100% because or it was hard to even chew it. So I just want to find out how did you guys come to a point to say, you know what, we've solved this and now we are able to, now it's solved. Is it part of you going to Mpumalanga or part of you meeting with this other lady as well?
No, actually going to Mpumalanga was part of it, because what has made me to go to Mpumalanga, I've known that people mostly I'm famously of taking photos, and then yes, they do come at home wanting me to work on project of photograph, and then I wanted to focus on this. Then I said to myself, the only way that I'll focus on this pizza issue, then it is for me to go to Mpumalanga, where I don't have friends, and then I'll have most of my time to invest in finding out how I can work this out, and then find a problem within just, you know what, within just making of this pizza, what has cost us, you see. Then I was having more time, then I just used, you know what, Google videos, you just type Google pizza, all of that.
Okay.
And then
I see people are ordering now.
Yeah, hey, you see now when they want to order, and then already I'm on air.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately we can't do that. Yeah. We are on air.
Let me switch off.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Then when I get there, and then I went through to Google, and then I searched pizza, make pizza, all of that. Google, it will give you what you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
I buy a time when I run out of it, I go to airtime advance. The more you use data, the more you need to take credit to see that advance, and then. But I was happy that I was having more time to spend on investing in myself, and then playing around with all of this, and then buying ingredients. Then I sit, I follow the instruction, then until I get it right, but I'm not yet there where I wanted to. There's still a long way to go until I perfect it, because you need to know your measurement, and then you must keep it as original as it is, and then there must be a difference to say this is Mkhukhu pizza, this is, you know what, what pizza. I don't want to mention names, maybe it can cause problem, you know, but we know we are on air, and then
yeah, no, remember,
yeah.
if it's your business,
Yeah.
nothing you know stops you from mentioning names,
Yeah.
especially if, remember, we are promoting your business,
Yeah.
and we wanna know the story behind Mkhukhu Pizza. You understand? And yeah, so I think you've mentioned you going to Mpumalanga. So I want to find out how did you end up having this soft one now, the one that I just ate now? Like how did you master it?
You know what? I have my sister who is based there. Yeah, she was actually based in here in Orange Farm.
Okay.
And then due to, you know what, having her own place, getting married, that's how he went to stay in Mpumalanga. And then he was having, you know, this two, you know what, it's actually a stove with these two plates, but
Okay.
it has oven. Oven, you see, and two plates. That's it.
Okay.
Then that's how I started, you know. I wasn't sure, like, how can I use this oven, because now I try to switch it on,
And you
it
can't.
doesn't come on, you know. But one time I asked her, then he showed me, then I was happy. I said, yes, I'm going to work this out now, because this is what I needed. And now I play around with that dough, I buy flour, I buy those stuff, you see. Then after that I mix, I follow the instruction. There was a point where I write them down, and then I said, if I follow this instruction, then I think I will see what was the difference. Then at the end, you're using that stove, and then I see like, yo, wow, here it is.
Here's the results. Now you're getting the
Yeah.
results now.
Yeah,
It's
now,
soft
like,
now.
It's soft now. I taste it. I eat it all by myself. Then I continue. You know what? I was no longer eating pap, bread. I tend to buy only Coke, and then, you know, I make my own piece. I eat. Then from there I introduced it. It is a rural place there. Then I introduced to one of my sister's son, and then he's very much into entrepreneurship on that side. Then
Okay.
we went all over that place. We market it. Then he used to go and deliver me. I used to make it, to make that pizza, and then that's how it worked out. Until, you know what, obstacle came, you know, like, as we know, like, it is not most of the time where, like, you find family or relative supporting you on entrepreneurship, you know what,
that's
space
true.
or journey. Yeah, it will be only that, you know, to be fortunate where, like, you find, like, they see the vision, they can support you. So most of the time they don't see it, they just see like, what is this one is doing, he's supposed to look for employment. You see, that's how they see it. So unfortunately, that's mostly what we go through as aspiring and
Entrepreneurs,
you see.
yeah.
But what is good is that if it is yours, the person
No
will help
one
you.
can take it
No one
away
can
from you.
take it from you.
Yeah,
Then
that's true.
that's how it came. Then when I came back to Orange Farm, I said, hey, I came back on the 29th December last year. You see,
A
I was only
plane
left
must
with
come
2 days
now.
to come again.
I'm saying, you said you came back to Orange Farm. It was on the 29th of December.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 29th of December 2021. You see, I was only left with 2 days to jump to
the new year.
2022. Yeah, then I sit at home. I said, thanks, I'm back at home. Now, like, you know what? Nothing disturbed me. Then that's why I started to say, I'm going to play around with this piece again. But I took time, because most of the stuff that I bought, they were there in Mpumalanga. I had to fetch them, the stove, the pots, you know, all the cutlery that I use for you know what, for running that business, for starting it. Yeah, it was just a catastrophic, you know what, environment, or I can say experience that time, because you see, you want to do something, your stuff are left on the other side, where you are, you cannot see them, you want to start it. But then I was more on wanting to go back to photography, because I'm here in Orange Farm. That is what they know me best with. Then I said, I'm going to buy frames, all of that, concentrate on photography. Guess what? My business coach said to me, Mr. Peter Van Beek, said, you know what, why you don't try this pizza?
Yeah, in Orange
And
Farm.
then, guess what? You know what? To be honest with you, I remember before I moved to pizza, I started with Archer.
Archer.
And the usher was running like, you know what, your fat cakes there in Mpumalanga. There's a place called in Snotelo, just after passing Siabuswa Muloto. There you see, yeah. Then that's how it was. Then the usher was like people, they were buying it. Yeah, like dust. And then that's why I moved to Pisa. And then it is rural areas. I didn't know how to cook, you know, the cow head meat, inyama yenkomo, you see. But you know, in rural areas, they are having cows, you know, they are masters of it. Luckily, last born of my sister is one of them in that area. He's good in cooking it. Then I learned from him. And then I learned so much to how to make that fire on the ground, you know, that floor fire where you don't use electricity, you use your tree pot, you use that, you know what, those iron steel pots that you put there. Yeah, so that's how it came all about. But you know, when I get to this side, I said I'm going to confuse people. Now I'm going to Pisa.
And now, and Orange Farm already, people they know the ponies. They know the competition might be tight.
Yeah, and now I'm going to confuse them, because even me, I'm started to be confused. Like now, what line am I going to now? I'm leaving what, I'm going for what? And then I have to start all over, market all of this. They don't know me about the issue of making food. They know photography only.
And what I like is that photography, food. And if you look at these two, they go hand in hand. Because everyone wants to be taking photos, and good quality photos. And most definitely, everyone wants to eat quality food.
Yeah.
And understand? And when you combine these two, then you can see that these things, they go hand in hand. Like, remember your point, you said you didn't want to compromise on quality. You always wanted to give 110% of what you do to your customers. And so that then people can also recommend you to say, you know what, I've taken this photo from Temba, and then Temba, you get calls, no, Anthony said this and this, no, I want to take, and same applies with food. If you do good food, like, it's finished now. We enjoyed the food. So that's what I'm saying. Somehow there is a link. So definitely I do believe that you are on the right track, you understand? Because food, photography, and you know how ladies they are. They like taking photos, and they want quality food. And most of us, we like quality food. So somehow there is that bond on those two things. And Archer, I mean, come on. You've mentioned Archer. Most of the people out there, you know, they like eating Archer. You understand? And Archer, as a product itself, it has created a lot of employment for people out there.
Following.
You understand? So people are making money out of Archer. But you know what? We're going to take a musical break so that we can also have some water. And then, because me and my producer, we are full. You know, we are full. We've enjoyed your pizza. But I just want to find out, after the break, we just need to go back to the story where you said, you know what, now I'm starting this Mkhukhu pizza here in Orange Farm. And how did it go? Because I know when we spoke, me and you've also mentioned that there were kids that were involved. You know, that said, you know what, Putemba, do this, do that, do this, do that. And those kids, we need to understand, how do they come into party? So that then, if it is possible, we can even call those kids and try to understand with those kids as to say, how did you contribute on this Mkhukhu pizza? So we are on hashtag the business card Bafetu. We want to take a musical break, and then we'll be right back.
Feels so good. You're on the number one number one radio.
This is Timeline Radio, your way to
People are making
success.
speech. There's water there next to them.
Agora o presidente